You guys recognize that, don't you? Welcome back to Rebel Media on a special Christmas edition. Today we're going to be talking about Jingle Bells and where it came from. James L. Pierpont. The L stands for Lord. He was born April 25th, 1822 in the town of Boston, Massachusetts, of all places. And he is the composer of one of the most famous and recognizable Christmas songs that we know today. James always had a sense of adventure. He was always a bit of a rebel. When he was a kid, at 10 years old, his dad, who was a reverend, sends him off to boarding school in the great state of New Hampshire, the Granite State. I spent some time there myself. It's a beautiful place. But at 14, he gets sick of living there, and he heads out and he joins a whaling crew, and he goes out whaling in the Pacific Ocean. This is where he gets his love of the sea, and he actually ends up joining the Navy. Now, when he gets out of the Navy, he gets married, he has some kids, and then he hears about the California gold rush going on, and like many people at the time, decides to go out there by himself and try to strike it rich. But it doesn't work out good for him. He doesn't strike it rich. He loses all his money, and he actually loses all his property too in a big fire. Then he ends up composing a song about it called "The Returned Californian." So he's back from California. His wife suddenly dies, and the war breaks out, the war between the states. And he says, you know what, I'm gonna enlist to fight. And what side does he go to fight for? That's right. He moves to Georgia. His dad stays back north, and he actually ends up fighting for the Union. And James goes to fight for the South. Now, while James is fighting for the South, he writes a couple more songs, actually 3 songs. The 3 songs are called "Strike for the South," "Our Battle Flag," and "We Conquer or Die." Okay, so back to Jingle Bells. Originally it was called "One Horse Open Sleigh." Some people even thought it was a drinking song. And basically it's about going fast, chasing girls, taking one with you, and drinking and going somewhere private to be alone with your lady. It's funny that even though I've heard the song a bajillion times, I can't exactly remember the lyrics, so forgive me, but I'm going to cheat and read them right here. But in the second verse, James writes, "Now the ground is white, go get it while you're young, take the girls tonight, and sing this sleighing song." I guess James liked to drink and be merry. Who doesn't, right? Well, the funny thing about Jingle Bells is it wasn't even intended to be a Christmas song. There's no mention of Christmas in it at all. So after the war, James goes and he ends up living in Georgia for a long while. And then I imagine he gets sick or something and he ends up living with his son down in Florida. That's where he dies. And he ends up being buried next to his brother-in-law, who died in the First Battle of Manassas, and he's buried right next to him up in Savannah, Georgia. Should we cancel Jingle Bells now that we know was written by a rebel? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that little video on the composer and origin of Jingle Bells, and I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and all your loved ones, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh guys, I just forgot one more fun fact. Did you know that James is the uncle of J.P. Morgan? That's pretty wild. Alright, see you later.